Okay, so we're looking at question 5, which is a recursion and financial modelling question. So it's basically got Julie, she's going to withdraw some money to purchase a car, and she's going to, for tax purposes, she's going to depreciate the value of the car using a reducing balance method. And there's a specific, the value of the car is represented by, going to be represented by this recurrence relation. Just as a reminder, that's equivalent to V0, that's equivalent to Vn plus 1, and that's equivalent to Vn. Just so you sort of look at it and go, why are they using that? That's what it's talking about. Okay, so first question. For each of the first 3 years of reducing balance depreciation, the value of R is 0.85. What is the annual rate of depreciation in the value of the car during these years? Now, let's remember, I'm going to give some space up here. So I've got R, oops, let me write it again. R equals 1 minus R over here, divided by 100. Now, in this case, the annual rate of depreciation is little r. Okay, so we're after a percentage, and that's what that little r is represented. It's some sort of percentage that we need to find out. Now, we can actually solve this on the calculator using Solve, which I'm going to show you. But I really just wanted to make it clear what we're talking about here. So when we put, so basically what it's after is the 100 part converts it from it's going to convert something from a decimal to a percentage. Okay, so if we ignore that for the moment and we just went r minus equals 1 minus little r, we know that's at 0.85. That's equal to 1, and therefore r is there. And basically, the 1 corresponds to basically 100%. So that's therefore 85. That would mean that the remainder of that is 15%. And that's the answer. But it's making it clear what that means. But let's actually do that on Solve, just so it makes it really clear what I'm doing. So basically, I'm going to get Solve up here. Oops, on my algebra. I want Solve. And then I'm going to go 0.85 equals 1 minus, I'm going to put so it's easy to put in. I want to find this one. Oops, where was it go? There are. That's 100. Put the bracket. This is why I like using Solve for these, because it makes, and I get R equals 15. So basically, my answer is 15%. Now, I took a bit longer to do that than you would normally need to do it, but in this case, I would actually use Solve and do a lot quicker. Okay. So in this next question, which says, for the next 5 years of reducing balance depreciation, the annual rate of depreciation in the value of the car is changed to 8.6. Okay. Now, that's 8.6%. What is the value of the car 8 years after it was purchased? Now, I should let you know that in question A, only 55% got that right. And in this one, I think for memory, it's about a third got this fully correct. And about just over half got 0. So keep in mind that when I'm going through this now, and there's probably some key points that you need to remember. It's a total of 8 years. So I've got my 3 years here, and I've got my 5 here. So my first point is, this is my first thing I've got to do, and then this is what I've got to do. Now in this case here, I would actually use the rule, not rather than doing it recurrence relation, I'll do the rule, but I can use the this up here to work out what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So, and I know what R is, remember. So if I go V3, because I'm after this value first, okay, V3, so I have to use my R value from over there. All right, so I'm going to have 14,000. Why 14,000? Actually, let me write out the rule here. So let me rule that out. So I'm going to go, oops, sorry. Vn equals V0 Rn. No, Yes. So my brain just had a blank moment for a moment there. Sorry about that. So yeah, so I can go V3 equals, so V0, or actually let's use the right terminology here. C3. Let me fix this up so I don't confuse you. C0. C3 equals, and my C0 is 14,000 times my C, so my R is 0.85, 0.85, and I'm going to go to the power 3 because that's 3 years. Okay. And what will that give me? Oops, there we go. Let's put that in. 14,000 times 0.85, and I want it to the power of 3, and that'll give me 859795. So that's after 3 years. But then I have another 5 years at this particular reducing balance rate. Okay. So, but that means I'm going to need to treat this now for the next part. So this is essentially going to be the new C0, if you want to think of it. Okay. So I'm going to actually go C5, where my C, what would be my C0 would be 859775. That's what I've got from there. And I'm going to put times. Now, this one here, I could have done this beforehand, but it's what's probably easier is to go, oops, not sure what came up then. 1, because I can calculate what R is. 8.6, because remember that's my annual rate of depreciation. Go to the power of 5 here. Okay. And if I then put that into my calculator, and let's put a bracket there, and I'm going to go 1 minus, and then I'm going to go 8.6 divided by 100, and then I'm going to go out here, and it's going to go to the power of 5 because it's 5 years, and I get an answer of 548423. Okay. And that's rounding up. So remember it's 2316. So I need to go 23 because it's, remember, it's cents. And so my answer is, what is the value of the car? It's 5,484.23 cents. That's after 8 years. Okay. And that is question 5.